what do you do if you find water leaking from your water heater and you don't know how to fix it? You can call a plumber, or you can ask your dad. Well, what if he's not there or doesn't know how to fix it? Watch this video with me and I'll show you how you can fix a leak on a water heater, and it might not be as hard as you think. Let's get started. As part of this repair, I'm going to turn the temperature way down so that it doesn't reheat the water while I'm showering. And then I'm going to replace this valve right there on the top because that's leaking. I've also got a valve down here. This is just a little drain valve that's built into the bottom. That one is leaking very slowly. The first thing I'm going to do is turn this down to pilot. That way I won't be heating a whole tank of water that I'm just going to drain in the tub. Time to shower. So I'm going to have to drain the tank. I have a short garden hose that we will screw onto this. Snug it down as tight as we can. Depending on where your water heater is, you might have a drain in the floor like this. Ours happens to be close to a tub, so I'm going to put the hose into the tub. Shut the water off to the water heater. Now we've got no water going in. Turn this faucet on and let it drain. That way there's a path for air to get back through the pipes and into the hot water tank. And then we open the valve. In order to rotate this to get it off, I've got to unscrew it here. Well, this down pipe is 5 feet long, so it's going to hit everything. There's a little union right here and a release tool for that union. If I take that release tool and snap it on there and push down on the top, it should release this whole assembly like that. With that off, we can rotate this pipe and take it out of the valve. It's feeling a little stiff, so I'm going to try the pipe wrench. Now it's starting to rotate. When you're getting your replacement valve, make sure it has your brand of water heater on it. Here's the replacement one, old one off. Teflon tape already on this that came factory installed. That's probably good enough. Otherwise, you can wrap some Teflon tape on this to make sure you get a good seal. There's the old one that we're replacing, and you can see some corrosion in there. Here's the new one. That's where the valve goes, and it's still draining. I started this channel to help guys that have grown up without a dad gain some skills and some confidence and to feel loved, despite the fact that they might not feel that way from their own dad. I grew up without my dad, and even though he was a good man, he wasn't there while I was growing up, and it hurt. It takes a while to get over that, and some people never do, but you can. If you want some help dealing with the challenges of growing up with an absent or negative father, then go to fatherlessedge.com, download the free 5-step guide, and do the things that are in that guide. They'll help you process the emotions and the challenges that you're facing because you've grown up with an absent or negative father. This is taking a long time to drain, kind of like my bladder at night. And look, the water's finally quit coming out. Take the hose off. I want to make sure it's completely drained. Now we're going to take this off and replace it. I'm going to take a new one and wrap it with 2 or 3 layers of Teflon tape so that there's less opportunity for leakage. 2 or 3 times around, and then I'll just pull it and bust it like that and wrap it on there. Now that we start threading in here, again, we want to be careful not to cross thread it. We want to make sure that it ends facing down when we're done. I'm going to go for one more. It should be good. Make sure it's closed. Now back up on top, we're going to put the temperature pressure relief valve in and fill the tank back up again. So I'm turning it backwards to where it feels like it's getting a start on the threads. There we go. That feels seated. Took me a few tries. Now I know I'm not cross-threaded. I need it to end pointing out this way, so I've got to turn it. I don't want to over-torque it, but I got to have it facing the right way. So if I feel like it's too hard going around this way, I'll back off. I think we'll be okay. Right about there. I'm going to clean this Teflon tape off. I'm going to put a little bit of new Teflon tape on this and then thread it back down. So 2 or 3 times. Break it off. We'll thread this back in here. And again, we need to make sure this is pointing down when we're done. I think I can get it one more rotation. Okay, and it's down. We'll put this piece back on, and this is just a slip fit pressure fit, so it pushes up on. So now we're ready to turn the water back on. We're going to want to watch to make sure this doesn't leak from our joint here. I'm tempted to connect the hose back up again and drain some more off the bottom to get any loose sediment that might have been stirred up with the filling of it. In fact, I'm going to do that. Let's see if there's any more sediment that comes out. Oh yeah, that's good to get off the bottom. That'll help it last longer. Still coming out brown. That's a fair amount of sedimentary water. Okay, I have run it till it's just about clean coming out of the hose. I'm going to shut this off. Now I'm ready to disconnect this. When I did this, I set the thermostat down to pilot setting. Perhaps a safer thing would have been to shut it all the way off. Because I was doing it all at once, I didn't figure the pilot heat is going to do too much to an empty tank. If it's going to be off for a while, you want to make sure you turn the pilot off. If I had shut it all the way off, I would have to go back through relighting it now. Now the tank is full, the valves are changed. Let's see if I can get a shot of the burner for you. Down here is the burner. This is a gas one. If I slide this over, that's the pilot. I'm going to go ahead and turn the thermostat back up. Just turning this knob, that's the point where you're setting it to. You can watch the burner fire up when I turn this on. And there goes the burner. I'll close this door. There's one more cover plate to put on. And this just has a tab there and a couple here. Then you pinch them and put it in. Now we'll turn the hot water back on and let it run until the water actually comes out instead of air. Whoa, look at that. This is a different bathroom. And the last bathroom. When you see brown or black come out, that might scare you a little bit. Anytime you get air in the lines, that's very normal, so don't let that worry you. I'll run it for a bit before I take a drink. We'll do the kitchen one too. Oh, there's the air bubble. Now we're pretty much done. I'm going to leave these two catch pans underneath those just in case, but always remember, you're never done until you've cleaned up. Okay guys, it's been not quite 2 full days and I came to check. I looked yesterday, my little catch buckets were dry. I came this morning and they weren't dry, at least the one. I got water accumulating in the bottom. And that's the temperature pressure valve. So unfortunately, I'm not done with this repair job yet. I got 1 out of 2 because the outlet valve is not leaking, so I'm good there. So what do you do now? Maybe you need to call a plumber, but before you do that, watch this next video and you'll see 2 other things that could be causing the leakage and how you can address those. And just as a hint, we did manage to fix it completely in the next video. Remember, you've got a dad that loves you, and I'll see you in the next video.